This is Gerardo Del Real with the Outsider Club. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Chakana Copper, Mr. David Kelley. Dave, how are you?
I'm doing great, Gerardo. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We were joking off air that you like talking to me a little bit more now because I don't have to ask you the question about when we're getting the permit to drill. Drilling has actually commenced. I should congratulate you. It's a milestone for the company.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it is a really important milestone, and I tell you, couldn't be more proud of the team in Peru to pull this off. I mean, not only getting the permit in the first place during COVID-19, but getting all the logistics sorted out, getting the drill team to the site, and getting it set up, the platform built, and right now we're turning the drill rig, and we're out. We've already intercepted terminaling breccia, so we're super excited.
Now let's provide a brief overview for people that may be new to the Chakana story. You've already had incredible drilling success. I actually believe the last drilling campaign yielded the best intercept of your career. Is that accurate?
Yeah, several of the intercepts on this project have been, the best in my career in terms of length and overall grade. And it's important for your subscribers to know that, this is a high grade gold, copper, and silver project. I mean, we've hit spectacular grades in all three metals. So it's somewhat of a unique opportunity to have exposure to all of those metals. But the previous drilling was really fantastic. We completed 30,000 meters on about 1/3 of the property, and all of this new drilling is going in on another part of the property that we haven't drilled yet.
Let's talk about that. I believe drilling started at Paloma East, and then I believe it will continue on to Paloma West, and then the Huancarama Breccia Pipe Complex. Are all three of those targets accurate, Dave?
Yeah, that's correct. That's going to be the main focus. There's peripheral targets around all of those that, deserve drill holes too. But, the main focus will be testing those three principal areas. And then the ones that look really good from that initial scout drilling will be queued up for infill drilling. And at that point, it's likely when we would pull in a second drill rig and have two drill rigs turning.
So you're starting with one rig. The plan is for 15,000 meters?
Yep, 15,000 meters. It's fully funded, as you know. Our treasury sits right, just below 6.5 million. Plenty of money to get through this drill program and take us on to the first resource estimate, which we hope to get out by the end of first quarter in 2021.
You're also running a concurrent surface channel sampling program that should contribute to the maiden resource estimate for the project later this year. When do we anticipate that?
Well, those results will come out periodically. Each breccia pipe will be channel sampled with about 50 channel samples. So that equates to about 50 meters of drilling if you looked at it that way. The channel samples will be oriented in different azimuths around the top surface outcrop of the breccia pipes, and that information will be put together with the drill information we have, which gives us the depth extent of mineralization. But this allows us to connect that depth extent to the surface, and it adds tons. And obviously, if the grade's good, and we've seen really good gold grades in the surface environment, that'll add ounces of gold too. So I would anticipate that we'll have a series of news releases that'll come out with describing the channel sampling results on an individual breccia pipe basis, and then intermixed in that, of course, will be drill results from the 15,000 meters that'll be ongoing for the next several months.
Dave, I believe you have 92 targets at the very least on the property that are highly prospective for mineralization. How can you explain to everyone how you vectored in on these particular targets you're drilling now? Because you've told me publicly and privately that the team is as excited about these targets as it has been any other part of the property, which again, given the spectacular nature of the intercepts to date, should excite shareholders.
Yeah, well, the targets that we have, the 92 targets, are the result of a very extensive multidisciplinary exploration campaign over 2 years. So we've applied a number of different techniques surface mapping, alteration mapping. We've done satellite imagery. We've done a number of different geophysical methods. But the targets we're drilling now are really, really obvious features. You can stand on them. You can sample them. They're mineralized. They're obvious, very, very obvious features. And, that's really been the core of our success so far is drilling things that are really obvious. These aren't subtle features, but we wanted to go about doing our exploration in a way that was very systematic, because we know that blind breccia pipes exist, breccia pipes that aren't exposed at surface. We've already found one fortuitously in our drilling. So if one exists, we know that multiple blind breccia pipes likely exist as well. Above the 23 confirmed breccia pipes we have at surface, we have another dozen highly altered outcrops that we think are just a very near proximal expression of a blind breccia pipes. And then the geophysics gives us a whole nother, source of targets that look even deeper. So the fairway is really, really long and wide here, and we expect to get a lot of good drill results out of these next round of targets. But this is really just scratching the surface, Gerardo. As we've had great success with drilling the first four strongly mineralized breccia pipes out of testing 7. And if we can keep up that hit rate and keep going through these targets, then there's going to be a lot of mineralized breccia that's going to be added to, potential resource estimation.
By when do you anticipate being able to put all the data from prior campaigns and this campaign and turning that into the resource update that I know everybody is excited to see?
Yeah, it's ongoing. I mean, the interesting thing about the project is as you finish drilling on one breccia pipe, you move on to the next one. Yep. So, that data can be taken in-house and evaluated. We do very extensive quality control reviews of the analytical data and the drill spacing and just overall quality of the information. And so it's progressive, to add another drill pipe to the database in terms of the information that could be evaluated while we're drilling on the next one. So, we will be ready, for the resource estimate when the time comes. We obviously will have a cutoff point at some point. We'll say, well, this is it. We're going to stop here, and all of this drilling is going to go into the initial resource estimate. But I'm confident that this next 15,000 meters will give us what we need with what we've already drilled.
Fantastic. I think the bigger problem you're going to have, Dave, is knowing when to cut it off if you continue to have the kind of success that you've already had, or if you exceed that success, right? Because the bottom line is if you're hitting high-grade copper, high-grade gold, high-grade silver, it's going to be tough for you to, pull the plug and say, okay, this is the deadline. This is what the resource estimate will consist of if the drill bit is still hitting. How do you approach that?
Yeah, no, I've already started thinking about that. If we're drilling strongly mineralized breccia and we still got additional targets to test, there's really nothing magical in that 15,000 meters. That was what we deemed necessary to get 3 more breccia pipes into the kind of drill density like we have for breccia pipe 1, breccia pipe 5, breccia pipe 6. We've already drilled breccia pipe 7 with just 4 holes. We know it's mineralized. It needs more drilling. So we've got, really, we call it a champagne problem of so many good high-grade targets that need additional drilling. There's nothing magical about that 15,000 meters. If we get there and we're still drilling, we might have a cutoff for a resource estimate to say we're going to go and work with this for the resource estimate, but we're going to keep drilling because we know, that we can expand it. And that's always been part of the plan, is to get an initial resource out, but by no means will that be the ultimate resource for the project. That'll just be kind of a demonstrational concept that these pipes are vertically extensive. They get bigger at depth. We have some very, very high grades, and show the market that if you can get here with 5 or 6 breccia pipes, where can you get to with 10 or 12 breccia pipes, or 15 or 20? We don't know how many ultimately that'll be, but it'll certainly be more than what we've got right now.
Good problems to have. The actual turnaround time for the assay labs, is that still, like, if I recall correctly, last time we spoke, you said it was around 2 weeks, give or take. Is that still proving to be the case?
Yeah, we'll see that obviously as soon as we get our samples in from the first round of channel sampling. That'll be a good test for us to see how things are going for the drill sampling. That'll come in, shortly thereafter. But yeah, all of my information suggests that they're ready to go. They're anxious to get started and get things moving again in the lab in Lima. And so yeah, I'd say 2 weeks is what we're anticipating.
Fantastic. Dave, anything else you'd like to add to that?
Well, just appreciate the patience of all your subscribers and yourself, Gerardo. Like I said on the intro call, I won't have to hear you ask me when the permit's going to come in and when we're going to be drilling again. So it's kind of an echo in my ear, but it's a distant echo now. So I'm really excited to be here, and thanks for all your support.
Well, replace the echo with $2,000 gold and, copper near $3 and silver at, $27.25. It's a good time to initiate a new campaign. Thanks a lot, Dave. I'm excited for this program and can't wait to have you back on to talk numbers.
Thank you, Gerardo. We really appreciate it. Anytime.